In this video, we'll be hunting a box of pennies, as well as seeing if we can make any progress to the Penny Hunt and Fill album. Of course, we'll be looking for any wheat scents from 1958 or older, as well as looking for any proofs, foreigns, heirs or varieties, or any other cool things we can find, as well as keeping all the copper pennies we get, and seeing how much we can fill up the copper jar. Now, I normally do 2-box penny hunts, but I did just get 1 box of pennies this week, so I'll make it a 1-box hunt if we can get some exciting finds, but if not, I'll probably just add the 2 boxes I pick up next week, make it a 3-box hunt, which might be a bit of a long video. That means more finds, of course. So, let's get into this 1 penny box. Hopefully we can get some great finds, and I'll bring you in when we have our first find for the hunt. Just opened roll 10, and we're finally going to have the first wheat scent of the hunt. Just opened the roll, and I see the edge of it right there. First wheat scent of the hunt is going to be 1955 out of Philly. Just open the next roll, roll number 11. We have a pretty cool find that popped out in the back of the roll. It's a 1944 Canadian scent, first foreign of the hunt. It's 1944, which means it is going to be a King George. Definitely don't get a King George Canadian every hunt, pretty hard to find. It's definitely an awesome find. Roll 33, and we're finally going to have the second wheat scent of this box. It's been a super slow box. Definitely going to have to add a couple more boxes onto this video. But for now, we do have wheat scent number 2 right here. It is corroded, but it's going to be a 1957 out of Denver. Roll 40, we're finally going to be up to 3 wheat scents now. Did just uncover another one near the front of the roll. It's first from the 40s, 1947 out of Denver. First penny box of the video has been hunted, and we're definitely going to have to add a couple more boxes on this video because this is definitely a really slow box. We only ended up with 3 wheat scents for the box, unfortunately, all in the 40s and 50s, nothing older. Also ended up with 9 Canadians as well, with the best sign of the box being that 1944 King George VI Canadian scent. Super cool to find that. But as I said, very slow box, so I'll be back when I have a couple more boxes to add on to the video. I'm back with 2 more penny boxes to add on to the hunt, and I'm pretty confident these boxes are going to do better than that first one because in this box right here, box number 2 for the hunt, we do have 2 wheat scent enders. We have a wheat scent reverse right there in roll 13, and a few rolls later, we have a 1941 Denver uppers facing. No enders for box 3 of the hunt, but with 2 enders in that box, and I'm pretty sure these are sister boxes. Should do a lot better than that first box, especially since that first box was so slow. So, let's continue the hunt, and I'll hunt penny box number 2 with the 2 enders, and I'll bring you in when we have a first find of this box. Roll number 7, and I just uncovered the first wheat scent of box number 2, and it is from the 50s, but San Francisco at least, 1953 from San Francisco. Next roll, just open the roll, and I see the edge of a pretty damaged looking wheat scent right near the middle right there. Second wheat scent of box number 2. Definitely really damaged, but it's a 1945 out of Philly. Roll number 9, and wheat scent number 3 for box 2 is going to be an oldie. I was about to slide the end coin down, and then I realized the coin right next to it is a 1917. Looks to be a 1917 out of Philly, which it is, very worn. We do already have this one for the album. Pretty common year, but it's a wheat scent from 1917, 105 years old. That is an awesome find. Just opened roll 11, and I see the edge of the 4th wheat scent for the second box. This box is definitely getting off to a good start. Kind of expected it with the 2 enders, but you never know. And this wheat scent's pretty nice. It's a 1954 from Denver. Same roll, just a few coins away from that one I already saw. We're going to have another wheat scent, which is going to make 5 already in 11 rolls. Awesome start. This one's another 50s, 1956 out of Denver. Next roll, just uncovered another wheat scent for the box. Already up to 6 wheat scents. Again, amazing starts to the box. Hopefully this pace can keep up. This time we have 1940 from Denver. Roll 13 was that reverse facing wheat scent ender. Just open the roll. Don't see anything else in the roll yet, but here's the ender. This is going to make 7 wheat scents for the box already. And it is a 1945 out of Denver. Roll 17 is that other wheat scent ender. Just open the roll, not seeing anything else again, but this is wheat scent number 8 for the box.
We already know the date. It's 1941 out of Denver. Roll 21, just uncovered the 9th wheat cent of the second box. It does look like to be pretty cleaned, but it is 1952 out of San Francisco. Roll 24, and I just uncovered the 10th wheat cent of box number 2, and it's going to be another oldie. Not quite as old as the last one, but it still is another pre-40s, and our first wheat cent from the 30s. It's a 1934 out of Philly. Pretty worn. We do have for the album already, but is our first 30s wheat cent out of the box, which is awesome. Roll 25, halfway point of this box. Just open the roll. We're going to have a double wheat cent in this roll. See the edges of 2 reverses right near the back. One in the front does look like it could be an older one. Let's pull that one out first. It's definitely a little more worn. Hopefully it's an old one. And it's not. It's just a worn out 1951 Denver. And the one a few coins behind it definitely does not look like it's going to be old. Yep, it's just a 1957 out of Denver. Just opened roll 28. I see the edge of yet another wheat cent for the box. Definitely a great box it's turning out to be. Near the end of the roll right here. This time we're going to have another 1956 Denver. Roll 32, just uncovered another wheat cent in this roll. This time we have one from the 40s, 1945, minted in Philly. Roll 37, just uncovered yet another wheat cent for the box. This one's going to be yet another 1957 out of Denver. Roll 40, did just uncover another wheat cent for the box. This time we're going to get a 1945, and it's going to be from San Francisco. It's actually in pretty good shape. Roll 47, end of the box goes a little bit colder, but still going to be a great box regardless. But I just opened this roll. I see the edge of yet another wheat cent near the middle of the roll this time, right here. And this one's going to be the 1945 from Denver. Second penny box of the hunt has been hunted, and it was definitely a great box. We ended up with 17 wheat cents in that second box, which with the 3 added from box number 1 makes a total of 10 wheat cents per box on average, which is what I like to see. Did get a couple of oldies in that second box as well. 1917 and a 1934, both out of Philly. Don't need either of them for the album, but definitely great to see a couple of oldies, along with a bunch of 40s and 50s as well. Definitely a great amount of wheat cents for that second box. And a bunch of Canadians as well, like usual, and some other side finds, so that was definitely a great second box to the hunt. Still have one more box to hunt, box number 3. No wonders in this box, but hopefully it's similar to box 2. So let's start hunting box 3, and I'll bring you in when we have our first find. Roll 6 of box 2 is going to give us the first wheat cent of this box, one away from being an ender in the back. And also in this roll, I also noticed, see the edge of a Younghead Canadian, which is the first one of those of the hunt. Did get a King George early on in the hunt, but this is the first Younghead Canadian, and it's going to be last year, 1964. Pretty cool find there. Now let's get the wheat cent out of the back of the roll. Looks like it's a pretty nice one, probably just in the 50s. And it is just the last year, 1958 Denver. Roll 10, and I just uncovered the second wheat cent for box 3 of the hunt. And this one's going to be 1941 out of Philly. Roll 20, I just uncovered wheat cent number 3 for box 3 of the hunt. This time we're going to have 1953 out of Denver. Roll 22, we're now going to be up to 4 wheat cents for this box. Did just uncover it. This one's going to be another 1953 Denver. Roll 24, wheat cent number 5 for box 3 is going to be another oldie. Third pre-40s of the hunt. It's our first one from the 20s. 1927 out of Philly. Pretty good wear on it, but it's in decent shape for being a 1927. No real big problems to it. Did check out the album. They do have the 1927, but the one we have does not look very nice, so we are going to upgrade that. And I believe we added it to the album only 1 episode or 2 episodes ago, so just added it. Now we're going to upgrade it, which is awesome. Great to get a 20s wheat cent, especially if it's going to upgrade the album. That's an awesome find. Roll 34, just uncovered wheat cent number 6 for the third box. Bit slower than the last box, but still doing pretty good regardless. This one's going to be yet another 1953 Denver. Roll 40. We're going to have wheat cent number 7 for the last box. Did miss it by the edge because it is pretty corroded, but it's still going to be another wheat cent. And this one's going to be, looks like a 1955 out of Denver. Roll 42. Just uncovered wheat cent number 8 for the last box. Only 2 more away from double digits. Hopefully we can hit that in these last few rolls. This one is 1945 out of Denver with a little bit of gunk on it. Next roll, and I did just uncover another wheat cent, so now we only have 1 more wheat cent to get before we get 10 for this box, which is awesome. This one's going to be yet another 1953 from Denver. Roll 46, and we are going to make double-digit wheat cents for the last box because I just uncovered wheat cent number 10, and it is 1941 out of San Francisco. Roll 49, and the hunt isn't over yet. We still have another find in this roll. Did just open the roll, and I see the edge of a wheat cent near the end of the roll right here. And this one's going to be 1942 out of Philly. All 3 penny boxes have been hunted, so let's go over all the finds. We ended up with a total of 16 1959s. There are a couple of nicer ones in there. Estimates, we ended up with a total of 31 for the 3 boxes. 2009s I put in stacks of 10 since we didn't have enough space. We did get 40. Foreigns, we ended up with 21 for the 2 boxes, all of them being Canadian, with a couple of older ones in there. 1944 King George, which was an awesome find, as well as a 1964 Younghead, and then all the rest were just modern ones, which is pretty cool. 21 Canadians, good amount. 1 miscellaneous find, which was a 1960 small date, but this one is in pretty good shape, which is cool to see. Now, for the wheat cents, we ended up with a total of 31 for the 3 boxes, which is over the 10 per box average I like to see, which is awesome. 3 from the first box, 17 for the second box, and 11 for the third box. So second and third boxes are definitely the best box of the hunt for sure. Bottom row is just all the 50s, and the top row is the 40s and earlier. We did get 3 pre-40s wheat cents, which is awesome to see. Do already have all of them for the album, but they are a 1917 Philly, 1927 Philly, and 1934 Philly. And I believe that 1927 will probably upgrade the album, which is awesome to see this far into the series. Lastly, for copper, we pretty much filled the copper jar, almost overflowed it, barely could fit the coins at the top, so over 3 boxes. Definitely a solid amount of copper there. So, now I'm going to go through all the finds, see how much album progress we can make. Don't believe we have any additions, but we'll see. And I'll bring you back with an update of the album. Just finished updating the album. And as I expected, we didn't get any additions, but we did end up with 3 upgrades, which I'll definitely take this far into the series. The first upgrade, which I expected, was that 1927 out of Philly. The old one was pretty damaged and it had some gunk on it, so getting a nice clean example in the album is definitely great to see. Next upgrade was another wheat cent, the 1945S, definitely a really nice one for being from the 40s, especially with an estimate mark. And the other upgrade was in the memorial sense, was the 1973S. The old one had a big brown spot on it. This one looks a lot nicer in the album, so definitely another great upgrade there. So now with 3 upgrades in this episode, that was definitely a great episode. Got a good amount of wheat cents, especially in that second box. This was a really fun 3-box penny hunt album fill series episode.